the the airstrike or whatever, the missile strike or whatever it was, the American strike on a Caribbean drug boat. Nobody was killed, first of all. Secondly, Trump wanted people to think of Buju, the Haitian, who sings like a Jamaican, and he's annoying. And in New York in around 2010, I said, how is the cocaine going to reach my nostrils if nobody brings it to New York? And that was, well, maybe socially irresponsible to suggest that drug anarchy would be good for society. I don't think it's good for society to have drug anarchy, but a lot of hypocrites are snorting cocaine and getting away with it, and they are not speaking against Donald Trump and his fake attack. Didn't kill anybody on the drug boat. Maybe it had drugs in it, but I can tell you one thing: nobody was killed. So Americans want to have a certain amount of illegal drug consumption, because that's part of the game of living in the USA. Is how do you handle yourself on drugs? You're going to have to show off how you, unless you really are part of a good society that can stay drug-free and be productive. They're going to try to rope you into using drugs and say, look, how do you behave on drugs? And they try to get you to have sex with people who you wouldn't normally have sex with while you're on drugs, and make you look bad, and then to get you into a 12-step Christian program for becoming a born-again Christian. And that's part of the game, the social game. One of the social games of America is that you might inject the equivalent of heroin, some sort of morphine equivalent, and also you might inject that mixed with cocaine, or you might snort the cocaine or smoke the cocaine. And it's a game that Americans want you to play. If you come to America, if you were born in America, they want to have drug use be part of the narrative of your life, your downfall, and then your recovery in a 12-step program, becoming a born-again Christian. They want to have some drugs for that, and the elite want to have some drugs just for their pleasure. So what if Buju Banton brought a kilogram of cocaine? He's annoying, but so what? It's not a big deal. But I wouldn't want him and his cocaine near my favorite young females. So, to me, my answer to the drug issue is to say, allow more freedom to self-segregate, so I don't have to compete with a strong thug like Buju Banton. I don't want to have to compete with his physical ability, and he probably doesn't want to have to compete with my brain. My brain is spectacularly accomplished now, and this is all from the greatest accomplishments of my brain are from the age of 40 to 50. My brain is really large, in the frontal area especially. They call that the cerebral cortex. So I don't want to have to compete physically or compete on the look of my face, which is not good looking. My chin is everyone agrees my chin is deficient, my jawbone is deficient, but my brain is spectacularly large and accomplished. So anyway, I don't want to have to compete with someone who's got a good jaw and a good nose and a good set of teeth, and he's got a good jaw and a good nose and facial structure, and then he switches from his horrible reggae chanting, and he starts crooning instead, and he can be more popular with the women. But anyway, I hate his music, except for I don't agree with a lot of Haitian immigration, but he's crying about the deportees, and that was his early song, and that was his best music. It was copying Shabba Ranks in his style instead of his horrible growling reggae. With the more anthems, the anthems are very annoying, but his early copying Shabba Ranks sounded better. But I don't agree with a lot of immigration from Haiti, because I don't want to see them overwhelm Florida, which I have a suspicion that there's a lot more blacks in Florida than that says there are on the Wikipedia website. And the blacks have been, and the men, African American men, have been too aggressive. They've overplayed their cards, and that's a habit of theirs, that they've been too aggressive. So anyway, I think it was maybe regrettable that I said, it's not such a big deal to have cocaine, but yeah, I don't like the Rastafarian mentality with their fake history of slavery. It's not racial slavery, it's male gender slavery. Africans are not especially the victims of slavery, and it's not a racial issue, it's a gender issue. Male gender slavery is the reality. The true social conditions of slavery are male gender. The true susceptibility to slavery is the male gender. And it's not that women are not to blame for that. Women are above it, and slavery doesn't happen to women. It's possible through the horrible scientific experimentation on transgenderism that more women could suffer consequences of ostracism or lack of trust. That feminized men are eating into the trusted status that women have in society because they're not males. So it could be worse for women in the future because of, so I'm a little bit sympathetic to the attitude of what's her name, the feminist from London. I don't like her tone. I don't like her tone, but I'm sympathetic to those feminists who are with, there's her name, J.K. Rowling. I'm sympathetic to their attitude on skepticism of the transgender trend. And I think transgenderism should be more punitive, not opportunistic. And transgenderism should be done to men who don't want it, rather than a trap to fool young men who are too good for that life into transgenderism, to fool them into it with false advertising. So I think it's being done all wrong. Millions and millions of men should be feminized, but it's from the below average segment of the population that should be feminized, not the above average. And they shouldn't be fooled into thinking that they're getting a special privilege, because it's actually a slippery slope that goes into male gender slavery. All right, that's enough for this video. I have to keep them short, and I have to do another video. I have to cut it off and start another talk video right now.